When the teacher asked me who had raised me, said them streets did. They underrated me, never paid me, but them streets did. Who brought the billionaires to the hood, gon' tell you Meek did. Who bringing real niggas home for good, gon' tell you Meek is. Yeah, that's cause my mama taught me different. I got people praying for me from all religions. Never turn my back on Jigga, and every time he talk I listen. But I got so much murder on my mind that it be hard to listen. Billionaires on all my visits. PTSD starting to kick you. It was a blessing.
Well, sure. My guys, man, thank you, man. It was a pleasure, man.
For sure.
First guest, man, on this podcast that I'm doing, I wanted to create a platform, no scripts, for real individuals, man, who tell real stories and it was genuine.
Right.
And, knowing you personally, this is an opportunity for me to let you tell me your truth. And a lot of people who don't know you, I want them to get a chance to know you better. I've been knowing you your whole life.
Yeah.
And besides the few wicked months or years, we had a disconnect. And I want to apologize to you. I want to first be, the first person to say, man, I apologize for any misunderstanding we had.
Sure.
Because you can't get time back. And I think you waste a lot of time. People waste a lot of time on small things and misunderstandings, and sometimes may come together like we doing now.
Absolutely.
I just want to apologize to you, man. How you been, man?
Good.
You look good, man.
Yeah, sure.
You got movies out, man. Congratulations, man. I seen you post
Appreciate it.
a new movie you in. Tell me about that movie that you in.
The movie is called Only Child. Actually, one of the premieres is February 4th, coming soon.
In Baltimore?
Actually, it's in Atlanta. So
okay.
premieres in Atlanta. And I think from then, that's when they're going to announce probably the date for the movie. The date haven't really been discussed yet, but...
So how do a guy like Chino get movies, man? I mean, you go from... let's speak about this. You was signed by Shoe City. I knew you before that. You was signed by Ethica.
Yeah.
You was signed by Rock Nation.
Right, for sure.
You was signed by Gene Chaser. You was signed by Monster.
Right.
Man, you got more endorsements, man, than Tiger Woods, man. For a young guy from Baltimore, how did you get all those opportunities, to be signed by major corporations?
Really, for me, I always revert all my stuff back to like Meek, because Meek shine like a big light on me. Meek shine like a big light on me, and then what he did for me and just like took me under his wing and what we built over time. And everything really just came genuine, for real. It was genuine stuff. So he'd be in certain rooms and bringing my name up, and I'd be there, and just certain opportunities just fall in my lap.
How did you meet me?
I met Meek. Meek met me. He was looking for me on the internet, and then he had a show. He had a show here and over Morgan, and was asking people like, yo, y'all know Chino, and he gave somebody the number, and the number got back to me. And then ever since then, we had...
I remember it was a show, Meek came to Baltimore, I think it was him, Rick Ross.
Yeah.
He was always genuine, He took me and you and a few people back to the trailer. He was talking about doing things back then that he's actually doing now.
Right.
I think some of his dreams, aspirations came to fruition. But what's surprising to me is that a guy who's from Baltimore, who has so much early success as a young kid, how was you able to deal with that without actually losing focus? Again, you still had to go to school.
Right.
You still was a son. Saying you still was a brother. And you still was a regular guy that people could touch and be in contact with. But that's on Monday. But over Tuesday, you in L.A. around all these superstars and all these famous people. How did you keep that balance?
I would say I kept it balanced because I think I knew what I wanted out of life, and I knew what I wanted, and I wanted to follow like the right path. So I always was like a leader, and knowing that I had to finish school and be in school and things like that, it was some days that I did miss school, but I always made it back to school. And then it was a time where I dropped out of school for like a year, 2 years, and then the principal was like calling me like, man, we see all this stuff you got going on and all this and that.
I see you, Chino.
We want you to have that on your resume, like when you graduated. So I actually went back to school. To Emerson.
I remember, man. I was in your life at that time, but you was excited about going back. Because I was like, man, how do you get a kid to want to stay in school when he already graduated?
Oh, for sure.
When I mean by graduate, a lot of people go to school to get a better education or a higher education to get a decent job.
Yeah.
And when I met you, you was already in six figures in terms of annual salary. You were doing things that was monumental.
Yeah.
And there are some good things that happened to you, and there was also some bad. But for me, it was so overwhelming because you dealt with so much trial and tribulation at a young age so well. At least it looks like that. Social media has a way of imitating, and it's a facade. Like we all know that, when we push the plus button and add a picture that we got to make the girl like, but you was really living off screen the way you was on screen, on social media, and where are you from? Like I know your mom, your grandparents, they from White Lock,
for sure.
But you wasn't born and raised in that particular area. Where were you born and raised?
I'm born and raised at Paul Heights, so I'm from Paul Heights, but my mother and them, they from White Lock and like RNG. So I spent most of my time at my grandma's at Paul Heights, my father and all that. And then I would just go down there with them, but I stayed up there a lot of the time.
How the hell did you learn to ride a dirt bike at such a age? You wasn't skiing?
So I always tell the story. Var, there was a guy named Var from Round, actually RNG. He, my brother had an XR, Trues, he had an XR 70, and Var took us over. He took us over Douglas on the track, and was trying to teach like us how to ride and shit. So he was on the front of the bike. No, I was on the front of the bike and he was on the back of the bike. So as we going around the track, we went around the track probably like 2-3 times. While we're going around, one time he just jumped off the back. So when he jumped off the back, I didn't even know, and I'm still going. So then I go to look back and I'm still going. They just like, keep going. They're like, keep going, keep going, keep going. So I just keep going. Pumping me up. And then from there, it was on after that.
So from dirt bikes, and I'm gonna try to keep this in chronology with him. From dirt bikes, you reach somebody like Meek, and Meek was saying what you were doing in Baltimore. He came to Baltimore, he reached out, and y'all formed a wonderful relationship. Now, throughout your life, you started so young, you was able to build healthy, cohesive relationships, pursue such as Meek Mills. I remember a time when you was the Shoe City and you was the face.
Yeah, sure.
I forgot that you even had a hat. Your own personal hat, like,
with Ethica and Shoe City.
Like when you get these collabs, right? And again, as I said before, how do you balance being humble versus being arrogant? A lot of young folk who never had anything, I'm not saying you come from nothing, because in Baltimore it's so prevalent to see people with hardships. But when you make it out of Baltimore, a lot of people keep forward. You was able to create opportunities for yourself with collabs, with Ethica to the hat, but then you stayed. What made you stay in Baltimore? And I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna come back because something happened to you when you left. But I want to know what made you stay in Baltimore.
I think what made me stay in Baltimore was like what made me who I am.
Baltimore is so hard. It's so rough. It's so. People say it's loving, it's cruddy, it's good, it's bad. But for us coming from the inner city of Baltimore. And you know my story, I made it out, I went away for a while, came back, but I was able to also focus on, what was good for me because I have kids. And I realized I ain't going to send my kids through what I went through the second phase of my life. But you being so young and you have so many people, and I can honestly tell you, they love you. People love you. A lot of people hate people because they're successful, but a lot of things that she went through under my umbrella in terms of the things that were happening under Shoe City, Ethica, people always supported you and wanted you to win.
No, for sure.
And, it's not common in Baltimore. There's a lot of celebrities in Baltimore that people just don't fuck with. They just don't fuck with.
I think for me, like, who I am really stemmed from my family, my mother, like, my uncle, Don. A lot of people know my uncle, Dante Block. Like, he had a big name in the city. My mother, Shirley, people know her, you get what I'm saying? So a lot of times, like when I'm moving through the city and stuff like that, a lot of people know me because of my mother, and it's before like the Meek and all this and the third. So now a lot of people be like, yo, I know, or change, like everybody act like they know me. So for me,
what's so crazy about your name, it's normally I have one of those names too, but you have a name that's only one. Chino. It's not a Chino from Park Heights, Chino from Lexington Terrace, Chino from East, but I don't know another Chino,
Right.
And, whenever I hear your name, it's never associated with something that is normalized. Okay, you come from Park Heights or White Down or wherever it may be, but most of everything you do is premium.
Right.
And it's not normalized. So a lot of people look at, you talk about True's Rest Soul, and I know that you had people you look up to. What were some of the things that you was doing that made you say, no, I'm going to do it better than the person I'm looking at now doing it? So it's okay, Meek wrote dirt bikes, music. Was there anybody that you saw at that time that made you want to go harder?
Lips.
Lips.
And I looked up to Lips when I was riding dirt bikes. He was like one of the nicest dudes in the city. One of the nicest dudes in the city to fly us on the bike, this, that, and the third. So me seeing him and him giving me certain tips when we ride together and stuff like that, I always was like, nah, I'm gonna master this shit. Like I wanna be the best at riding dirt bikes. And I never thought I was gonna make it no way riding dirt bikes. I just wanted to be the best.
So what would you say you came off the steps? Like when you talk about all these people, you know, and being able to really accept your role as being, you know, a very influential young man in Baltimore. Besides dirt bikes, could you say you're famous? I mean, your family was famous. They was known for different things. Your uncle, your mom. When did you think Chino came off the step?
I would say Chino came off the step. How about? Truthfully, came off the step. I ain't even gonna lie. I was off the step like my whole life. So I really can't really say when I came off the step. But I would say like once I started like coming into like my own name and all that, I would say probably at like 10, 11. Like 10, 11.
I think you was already wired different. This is what Marshall brought. I want to flip the script a little bit because I know your legacy will determine what you do in life. You know.
Yeah.
So we all have hardships, and I asked you earlier why you stayed. You know, something happened to choose. You know, you could talk about that if you feel. I think you were stronger than I give you credit for because at a young age, you was someone loses a sibling. As a mom, even if it motivates you or sends you down the wrong path. You know, if for some reason it's like all the things that happen to you in your young life, you just elevation. You know, what type of influence did Truth actually have on you? And losing them at a young age made you say, you know what, I'm gonna take this negative, you know, and turn it into something positive. But also, you know, I'm not gonna forget him because you talk about him and all your accomplishments, the things you do. You celebrate his birthday
because Trues was like what he wanted he wanted the best for me. Like at all times, he like, yo, no, go ride that bike, go with me, go do this, go here. Like he never wanted me here. You get what I'm saying? So his main thing was like, yo, just go.
You don't want you. A lot of people, I didn't want you. I remember a time, I was home and I got a call that you had got shot.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, who the hell would want to shoot Chino? Chino is, a child, a young man, but don't bother anybody. Why?
Yeah.
I remember Pusha T called me like, yo, who the hell would want to shoot Lord Chino? Like, I can answer. And they looked at me as being the big homie, like, yo, you should know these things. Like, what y'all doing? Y'all ain't protected. I'm like, yo, but this is Baltimore. You really
Baltimore, for sure.
Determine who do what. But I remember when the situation happened, you moved to LA. I was happy.
Yeah.
But then you came back. And I think, you know, for me, a lot of people dream about getting out of Baltimore. I mean, they wish that they could have an opportunity to have the relationships and the rapport you got, but either celebrities or non-celebrities, but it's people who wanted to see you win so bad that they was going to do anything they could do to see you succeed outside of Baltimore.
Right.
But some things bring us back. And even I had that problem leaving Baltimore because, you know, we feel comfortable here, but is it always the best decision? I don't know, but you came back. After, you know, you almost lost your life, you came back to this city. Tell me a little bit about why. What made you make that decision?
I feel like I came back because I was going through something at the time where it's like I damn near like lost all my sponsors just being out of LA and all that, just chilling, not being seen and none of that. And it came for me where at time it was like around that time where I realized it's like, yo, I gotta be on the internet because now the internet is popping and shit like that. So it's like, yo, I gotta be on the internet. So I'm just sitting out here in LA. I don't really got nothing going on. I'm just chilling in the box. My whole life is in Baltimore. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like my daily, just everything what I do, my family, everything, just traveling from there to go different places and come back to Baltimore and everybody that give me my spunk on a daily
So
basis.
You said you're supporting casters in Baltimore. All of your dreams and aspirations was in LA. It wasn't the perfect time to be out there. So
at that time, yeah, for sure.
Well, we would do things better. Well, what's one of the misconceptions about Chino? If someone would say, you know, one thing you hear a lot, a misconception. Because I know the difference between being arrogant and confident.
Yeah.
And a lot of people understand when you come from something or you come from nothing, sometimes, and I think Jay might say, you know, I work this hard to stay the same.
Yeah.
You know?
I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions of me that I be tripping off of. Everybody be saying like, man, he arrogant, he this, that, and third. And then it'd be like, no, I ain't arrogant, I'm just confident. People don't like how I walk and I'm wearing my chest out, my head up. And it's just like, if you know me, you gonna take up for me in any room? I'm like, no, I never got arrogant from him. I never this, that, and the third. But people who don't know me, they judge me as soon as they see me. Like, man, he arrogant. He just how? You don't even know me.
Right, yeah, a lot of people who don't know people, they assume, like, people think that, I'm a funny guy, I like to have fun. I mean, I still got no self-esteem sometimes, but I work it out depending on the situation. I don't know if you know, but a lot of people blame you, your brother, a lot of other guys for changing Baltimore culture.
Oh, yeah?
Y'all changed the fashion culture in terms of when I was coming up, you might have had clothes that identified with fashion, but everybody had it.
Right.
So it was normalized to see people with Jordache or Calvin Klein.
Yeah.
Y'all guys came on the scene, and not just one of y'all, all y'all was doing well to a point where those people wanted to be like y'all. How did that feel to know that y'all was being looked up as role models for fashion, music and things like that in the city where though we wasn't used to that? Because I don't know too many people that actually succeeded in Baltimore State.
Yeah.
Y'all guys was doing well at the same time. And it was like a clique of young men that everybody would talk about doing something, getting fashion or success.
I mean, for me, I think just growing up, always in that, the fly shit, the style and fashion and stuff like that through like my mom once again. So her just putting that in us at a young age, it just always made me want like the latest shit, the fly shit. So now as I'm traveling the world and I'm seeing different styles and shit like that and different things and what they on over here, what they on over there, I'm just bringing it back and putting it all together. You know what I'm saying?
How do you balance? How do you balance, a Louis Vuitton day, a Nike day? Because sometimes perception is important, like you said, on the internet. And some people there are variations of people with different opinions, so they might see the day.
So for me, I would say it was a time in my life where I wanted to wear design. Every day. I needed something every day. But then it was something that clicked in my head at one point. It's like, when I needed to wear that shit every day, I was in a space where I was fronting for other people. I was putting the image off for other people because when I was wearing that shit, I could afford it because I could buy it. But I really couldn't afford this shit at the time. It was just really you putting off an image just for people to look at you a certain type of way. So now, and today I'm only dressed because me and so we're gonna do this interview this and third. But truthfully, if you see me on a regular basis, daily basis in Baltimore City, you're gonna see me in a Nike Tech sweatsuit.
So when you speak about perception, do you have any fears? I wanted to know, even when we spoke earlier about the situation that happened to you, causing you, which was to me an amazing atrocity, almost in your life.
Yeah.
Walk me through, what was you thinking? Because a lot of times people don't get second chances. And you have the second chance to tell your own story and how you felt. And I don't really care about what happened. How did you feel after that, knowing that, I'm going to make every day count? Now that I have a second chance in life, because some people be scared straight. Yeah. Some people say, you know what, I'm going to see retribution. I'm going to do this, I got something to prove. I don't think that was your motivation. To me, it was like, you know what? We had talked about theology of religion in the field, but you seem like to me you was more trained to change your thinking in terms of
So when I got shot, I'm laying in the hospital bed, and I think it was Coon. Coon had came with Caleb Pickett on the phone, and I'm talking to Caleb Pickett. I'm like, yo, Caleb, we gotta do this movie. I gotta get out of Baltimore. I gotta get the hell out of here. But we wound up doing the movie and still never left. You get what I'm saying? So, but I think everything just motivated me to go even harder. Like, it just was like, yo, I want the best life for myself and for my family and the people around me.
But how do you deal with that when we got so many people who want us to lose because they can't win? And the difficult part about being in Baltimore is that, we love what it has provided. Baltimore has given you a platform, has given you a status that probably another city would have given you, but it did, even in being in Baltimore. And when you look across the spectrum, we got a lot of celebrities that came from Baltimore, but we only got one of everything. We got one boxer, one football player, one basketball player. How do you feel about, just knowing the future is in your hands in terms of perpetuating the positive narrative of what success look like? But if you stay, but then it's like, okay, well, is it good for him? Because I think, in hindsight, we all make different decisions. But when you say what was best for your family and people around you, and I know it to be the truth because I seen you put the work in. But what do you tell, a 10-year-old Chino now, today, knowing what you know now? What do you tell your 10-year-old self about when you make it, about how to escape and evade the things that you went through?
With that question, looking back, I don't think I would do anything different. I don't think I would do nothing different. I think over time and just learning from the people that I've been around and just hearing some of their stories and what they went through and things like that. So the thing for me where I had someone say to me one time that it stuck with me where if you already got burnt by that fire, right, I don't really need to get burnt by it.
Learn from that mistake.
So that's me learning from your mistakes. But I'm willing to try everything once.
Yeah, so I remember, I asked you earlier about having any fears, and living in Baltimore, sometimes, men, we get scared, we get frightened. Is there anything even remotely close to frightening you, scared to make you leave? Because you said, I don't want to leave. We done lost so many people in common that we know, and we'll speak about that in a minute. But you say you stay because you feel like your family here, your support system here. But is there anything that could scare you away from Baltimore?
I don't feel like nothing could scare me away from Baltimore. I grew up in it. I grew up in this shit, and I know it. I know Baltimore. I know Baltimore. I know the ins and outs. I know the negatives. I know the positives. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just, I don't feel like nothing can scare me away from Baltimore at all.
So when you think about your legacy, you speak about, the accolades that you achieve, whether it be the movies, endorsements and the partnerships with monsters. What's next? What do you see Chino doing next? And have anything you've done surprised you so far?
So next for me, I wanna build a league out. I wanna build a league out for like young up and coming kids to be successful on riding dirt bikes. I want to be the first to do that. That way, it's a league for them. That way, they can start riding dirt bikes and gaining sponsorships and making money like I did.
So in Baltimore, you want to do it in Baltimore?
I want to do it all across the world. I wanted to
start in Baltimore.
Yeah,
that's dope. I think that culture in itself speaks value because again, it's in your DNA.
No, sure.
I see that coming to fruition because a lot of kids now, once you ride dirt bikes illegally because of the fun and the hype, but then if it's a league and they can lead you do it, they protect it, I think it'll be successful,
Absolutely.
And that's wonderful, man. A lot of people, again, they leave Baltimore, they don't really get back because they don't come back,
right.
And you don't leave, what makes you want to give back? Because it's something that you see, that you didn't see. You said earlier, you didn't see celebrities when you was coming up,
Yeah, so me, when I was coming up, I didn't see no celebrities in Baltimore City. I was learning from the guys riding dirt bikes like Lips, or back then the celebrities was some of the dudes on the corners that had the big cars, had the jewelry, had this, that, and the third. They was the celebrities that we seen, you know what I'm saying? So for me, I always just wanted to show kids that they could possibly touch me at some point. You know what I'm saying? Like they can be a part of me and have a conversation with me. Like you might see me in the city by myself. I walk around, I'm all down, man. I'm here, all these places.
I always see you.
It's like me, I go off of energy. I know I ain't giving off I always say I ain't giving off no negative energy, so I don't feel like nobody want to give me no negative energy.
That's the perfect segue, energy. When you spoke earlier about misconception, people thinking that, when I say weak, when I say successful, people being arrogant or overconfident, how do you determine good energy from bad energy? And what do you do by when you can't control it? Because I want to speak about, when people walk up to you in public, start talking about music, making me this, and for a fact that that's not reality. But how do you deal with that type of energy?
Energy speak for itself. If you're in tune with energy and you're really on that, like you can see bad energy from a mile away. Like me, you wouldn't be sitting right here right now about energy being connected.
Well, there's a lot of fake people in Baltimore that we deal with every single day, and it's kind of hard, you know what I'm saying?
When it comes down to energy, you can see it. You can see it through the body structure, through the face, everything. Like you can see, like, man, he on some bullshit.
Right.
To the eyes.
Is it hard to tell you something? Like, do you think, like, if you had an OG from the corner that was on the corner who may be getting high now, he may be a drug and he fell off, is that someone you would listen to?
Absolutely. And you know what's so crazy? I deal with that still until this day. Like, I really deal with that. Like, I may be in a better position than some of the old heads that I used to look up to and still look up to, not because of whatever situation they're in. It's just I have respect for them. They never did nothing. They never disrespect me or I never had to disrespect them, so I never lost respect for them. So I don't care what position that you're in, I'm always going to listen. And then I seen certain things that you did and how you've made it through life, but until you show me that I can't respect you no more, that's when I'm not.
So when you think about, like, the guys that came before you and how they problem solve and troubleshoot, and you say you take things from them, you learn from them, you still look up to them, is there any decisions that you have made, and you say you don't regret anything, that you would do different to probably reconcile some relationships? Because there's people who, I think, even for myself, it was a misunderstanding, and I go too far. I go hard, like, man, fuck that. I ain't speaking now no more. You know, and it don't necessarily be pride, it be misunderstanding. And I think sometimes, like, you know, with you, I always loved you. I always had love for you. I always rooted for you, and I just understood that, you know, it was a time will come when we would sit down and be men and talk like we did. It was all we didn't listen be.
So speaking on that, even like with me and you, when we went through what we was going through, and it really wasn't even nothing. It was just that I feel like where I was at in my head mentally, I wasn't where I'm at today. You know what I'm saying? I was still young. I ain't grow to the point that I grew today for us to even be sitting here having this conversation, which we've been put that in the past. And people probably don't even know that, but now sitting here and being able to talk about it and bring it to the forefront and really just laugh about the past.
It's funny because, like, I was asked a question, and, you know, you can dive into it if you want to. I was in New York, and I went to it was a Puma. They opened up a Puma store. Yeah. And the guy, he's from Baltimore, you know, and he done a Chino, you know what I'm saying? You know, and he spoke about Chino. He's talking about, you know, the guy Tank, you know, and I'm like, yeah. And they always group y'all together. They group y'all together because y'all around the same age, y'all are successful. And, you know, I'll be disingenuous if I say I wasn't excited for what Tank did in boxing. I remember me and y'all guys being, you know, in my life, you know, and it felt so good to actually know the person before the success. You know, I knew you before the master. I knew you before the audition. But, you know, what do you say when people that's not from Baltimore ask us, why don't we stick together in Baltimore? Because in prison, you don't know, I hope you never know, you can be from East Baltimore, West Baltimore, South Baltimore, but Baltimore sticks together. Yeah. But for some reason, when we are home or when we are free or successful, you don't see a lot of positivity and people sticking together in Baltimore.
I just feel like people don't know certain things that went on.
Right.
So for you to be saying why these people ain't sticking together, well, this is third. You don't know why or what happened. So you speaking on a situation that you really know nothing about.
And it grows because it be contaminated through social media. Because sometimes it be again a misunderstanding. Or I look at how and women has a way of finding the conversation. Meaning they'll be in the salon, they get their hair done, and they hype things up, you know, unconsciously because they be fans and now understand that when they say something, a guy like, he said what, she said what, and they live up to the hype, you know, being from Baltimore, again, knowing that there are a lot of people that me and you know have made it. Do you feel like, you know, again, success blinds people to like coming back and doing what you do every day? Like some people make it so, they get so big that, you know what, man, that's.
I don't feel like, I wouldn't say it blinds people. I just say the people that don't come back because, like I said, Baltimore got like a hold on. It don't have a hold on anywhere. It stops you from really doing what you want to do because I do the things that I want to do. I travel the world, go handle business all the time. I just come back to Baltimore. I just feel like the people that they're able to leave because they never was really on that before they was on in Baltimore. You get what I'm saying? So.
Right. But Baltimore put them on. I mean, like, Baltimore put people on. Like, you think about the Ravens. Like, yesterday the Ravens won. The whole city come together, right? Yeah. only a few people, if any, from Baltimore that play on the Ravens, but we rep that team. But when I see certain celebrities that's from Baltimore, and I don't see them in the communities, I don't see them giving back to the same people to support them, I personally feel some type of way because I know for a fact what it would do for our city if we ever got together and came together. But when I say blind, I mean success blind people to a point where as though they now think they're bigger than what they are. So they say, you know what, I don't have to do that, so I'm not.
I mean, truthfully for me, still, in that aspect, I just feel like, and karma also has a way of humbling everybody. So wherever that's going, I just feel like it humbles people.
Man, you doing a wonderful job with segueing. I will actually, when you think about being humble, you know, we live in a very violent city, you know, and sometimes circumstances humble people to a point where so now they say, you know what, man, I'm not who I thought I was, so I can no longer do these things because of what happened to me. You know, again, we speak about, you know, you losing your brother, you know, you losing friends, you know, we talk about Ali, you know, good guy. You talk about, you know, Scooter, you know, B, all the guys, you know, and then the other day I was home and everybody sent me something and I was scared at first because, you know, I see your name, Chino, come on, like, what the hell? And, you know, at first it didn't bother me because you know, the narrative wasn't being painted exactly the way I thought it was once I got the message right. And the internet and has a way of turning stories into building blocks, you know, and I know your truth, you know, will prevail, you know, whatever it be. I'm just curious, you know, what the hell made you get out that car? And first of all, before I go further, the situation was I think you was riding down Ricestown Road. There's a lot of people in the street. Well, what happened that day?
So the only reason I got out of the car was because something happened, which made me get out of the car. You know what I'm saying? So speaking back on when you said, do I regret anything? The only thing that I regret getting out the car. I regret getting out of the car because all my people is like, they beating me up. Like, why you get out the car? You get what I'm saying? And then also, me getting out the car could have led to something totally different.
It would left
my side or their side. It would have just went left. But at the end of the day, it would have all fell back on me. So when I'm seeing all the videos and I'm seeing everything floating around and this, that, and the third, right?
But for those who don't know what happened, tell me what happened. Who was those kids? Like, why were they there? What was going on?
I don't know the kids.
I mean, were they riding bikes, cars?
They was doing donuts. I guess they was dragging, drifting, whatever right there. Something happened to my car, which made me get out the car. Okay. So when I got out the car, everybody just running over there. And I'm like, yo, what is y'all doing? Like, why this happened? This, that, and the third.
Right.
So now as they coming over there, I guess a few of them starting to realize it's
who he was. Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's Chino. So mind you, they got all these cameras in my face. So I'm looking around, I'm looking at everybody with the cameras. I'm like, yo, I don't do this internet shit. Like, why y'all got all these cameras in my face?
Right.
Like, so I'm telling everybody this, they got the cameras in my face. It's a big crowd. It's probably like 50, 60 people.
Right.
Yo, I don't do none of this internet shit. Y'all got cameras in my face.
Right.
Like,
it don't look like he was bothered by the people or afraid. And I was just trying to figure out, again, you can answer the question, why you got out of the car. Because, again, you said something happened to your car. What made you be there? Because I know that was like 5 seconds from where you are from.
It's in my neighborhood. So
right.
I want to talk through the whole situation. Right. So it's in my neighborhood. So me getting out the car, like I said, it escalated from something happening to my car. So when I get out, they all running over there. They running over there, this and there. So now they get over there. I guess when they realize it's me, they all pulling their phones out. They recording this and there. I'm like, yo, why y'all do what y'all did? You know what I'm saying? So, and then at the same time, I'm like, why y'all got these cameras in my face? I don't do this shit. Like, I'm like, not.
They was making a movie.
They making a whole, I'm not into none of the internet shit. I used to be, but I have to be on it because of who I am, but I ain't really into all the internet shit. I don't like that. I don't like to be put in the light in a bad way for no reason. That's why I keep everything, I walk a straight line. So, Ben, all that's going on, this and the third, and then one of the guys grabbed me. So once they grab me, of course, it's going to escalate the situation because nobody is going to put their hands on me without.
And you didn't know the guy from
none of them. Right. So when he put his hands on me, it escalated. and they made it into whatever they made it into. But the thing for me was, I was sitting and I'm watching all the videos going around and what people are saying. Well, they did this to you, this and that and the third. So me, I'm sitting and watching it. I come up around men.
Right.
I come up around real men, like, where that situation could have went so much different. The situation could have went so much different. And sometimes I also sit back sometimes and I realize about like how many people's lives I put in jeopardy by the people that have come for me, or what could have happened in that situation with the opposite.
See, that's maturity.
Absolutely, with the opposite, with the kids, what can happen? So as I sit back and I made it home safe that night, I made it home safe, and I guess they made it home safe as well. The next day I wake up, I'm like, the best thing that happened that night was that all of us made it home safe, because 3 blocks up the street, 2 blocks up the street,
It's a different story.
it's a different story. If it didn't make it to the internet and I was still on some street shit or this, that, the third, it could be a different story.
But if you wasn't who you was, it wouldn't have mattered.
Absolutely.
And I tell people all the time, unfortunately, when we lose people in Baltimore, they all have names.
Yeah.
A lot of people put more emphasis on rappers that lose their lives than other people who don't rap.
For sure.
And I mean, they still somebody's child and somebody's son.
So in that situation, it's like, it was actually a funny situation to me after it happened. It was funny when they came with the cameras and all this, that, and the third, because as you see in the video, I'm not even trying to be the aggressor. The shit is funny. I'm laughing like, yo, y'all got cameras in my face right now.
But
You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was, that whole situation was a learning experience for me. So next time,
to me, again, as I said, social media never loses. Social media is undefeated.
it's undefeated.
You can't defeat social
That's why I
media.
said nothing on the internet.
And I think for me, the first thing I thought about, which you haven't mentioned yet, was your daughter.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm saying, you did say make it home, and to me that's paramount. That's important, because in the day, I think everything you do in this life now is
about
dedicated towards
sure.
her and for her. And I think for me, you know, anything happened to you, again, there was 5 minutes where it's going to be a problem.
Absolutely.
And you just spoke about people loving you and care about you. There are also people who wish or were glad it happened because they jealous, you know. But what do you say to people who got that much anger, that much hate, and that much frustration, and you don't even know them? Like, yo, this happened to Chino, and it wasn't. And you just said it was a learning experience for you. And moving forward, I know you'll make a different decision.
Absolutely.
But what do you say to people who don't know what happened, or who has that much venom? You know, because at the end of the day, like, for me, I'm like, yo, I felt, I was angry because I couldn't do what I used to could do. I mean, and I say this because, you know, we all change, we grow, we mature, but when somebody hurts or affects someone you care about or respect, you kind of want to do something. Yeah, not necessarily mean seek revenge or, you know, or atonement in a negative way. You just want to pretty much rectify the situation so they won't think they got away with it and it won't happen again. You know, because now it could be about race, it could be about geographics, it could be different, because I seen people that looked like they was Latino, or they was Caucasian. I'm like, man, this could go ugly, you know? And the people who spoke to me about this situation, I assured them that you was okay, but I couldn't say if the people was okay, because people that might ride with you who don't care what you know want to say. I have a friend that told me, listen,
That's true.
don't come to court. I said, I'm gonna come and say, man, listen, don't come to court. I said, I'm your friend, I'm gonna come. And I went anyway. It's people who care about you, don't care what you don't say, who will act a certain way and still fall back on you because they love you that much.
So for me, I got the people who want to act a certain way calling my phone, this phone.
Right.
They want to take it to the next level.
Right.
I got the people on this phone. You know you shouldn't have never got out that car, right? You know you was wrong for that, right?
Right.
At the end of the day, it all falls back on me. So if I crash out or I let these people crash out, at the end of the day, it's Chino at the end of the day. You get what I'm saying? It's going to fall right back on Chino.
So you did such a wonderful job of problem solving, troubleshoot that situation. And every single day when I look at the news on social media, we got young men who live and die by a gun.
Absolutely.
How do you navigate from your situation? Because you did a wonderful job of, again, avoiding a major situation. Right. Could have been lost of life, freedom, health. What do you tell the young guys in Baltimore who look up to Chino not to crash out? Because a lot of guys crash out every day, Chino.
So for me, right, it's a lot of stuff I see on the internet with a lot of guys and stuff, and I be wanting to say something. I be wanting to say something because I know I have, not saying other people don't, but I know I got the right people around me that's going to make sure I'm like going in the right direction. So I see a lot of guys on the internet, and it be sometimes I be wanting to say something. I be wanting to say something because they may not have nobody around them pushing them in the right direction. And I stop myself from saying something because sometimes when some people are on their way to their level of success,
right,
they think you hating. They think you hating, so I just don't say nothing. But I see motherfuckers crashing out every single day, and I be like, yo.
Being that you was such a real big influencer, do you feel obligated to say something and you just felt like the right time has an approach or not the right person? Because some guys, I see some guys I don't even know, and I don't have a problem with somebody calling you OG or O, but you're in your prime, you living, your best life, and you still see things, and people will listen to you probably before they listen to me. Like, I think about music, right? Music has a way, it's so universal of speaking to people, right?
Yeah.
A person will listen to what a song says before they listen to what I say.
That's true.
And I understand where that come from because they believe those lyrics are true. They are modern day prophets on wax. When I look at you and me being from Baltimore, and violence is so prevalent, and we didn't probably been to more funerals and graduations, but I feel like you are in a position where as though you can tell people the truth and they look across at you. So you know what? I can feel that. Or when you look up to somebody, like man, he only talk about, you know what I'm saying? I don't care. Because I said it earlier, like if I do something, I'm brainless. They do it, they famous. Exactly. And I'm not scared being in Baltimore. I know you say you're not either, but there's a lot of people that are scared. And I think about music, how, or sports or anything that's successful in Baltimore, we idolize it because we don't, like you said, we don't have a lot of celebrities. We can walk on them all down in the sea, shake their hands. I mean, I remember a few years ago you were at Me in the Market and you was taking guys from Baltimore up there to be a part of some like dirt like that,
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't share that success and they don't share their friends that way, it's like, I mean, you never been a person to shy away from helping someone to me and they're like, why?
I never felt like nobody could dim my light because what's for me is for me. Like I'm gonna get what's for me for regardless. Like nobody can stop my shine, just like I can't stop nobody else shine. Like what's meant for you is what you're going to get. Like so, for me, it never been a thing of where I'm never kicking nobody when they down. I'm never not gonna help if I can help. I didn't put people in positions and I didn't benefit from it. Never wanted to benefit from it. I just all I'll be looking for at the end is just like a thank you or something, or like, yo, I appreciate you for doing that. You understand what I'm saying?
So today, what is your proudest moment?
My proudest moment for me is having my daughter.
Right. So speak about that. I remember you posted online. I was excited for you because being a father of many, I know that my kids, I make the sacrifice for them. How does it feel to be a father?
I mean, for me, it's still fresh, but I mean, it's coming on, she growing up and just taking it day by day and just growing through the whole situation and really understanding how to be a father.
Right, because what the relationship you and your father had growing up, was it something that we always want to do do-overs, because like, whether it be sports or just, social activations in our life, you want to look up to the man in your life, My father wasn't in my life, unfortunately, but you might have a different story. Now you're a father of your own. What would you do different?
Truthfully, my father was in my life. My father was actually like brothers.
Right.
My father treated me like his little brother, but I just couldn't disrespect him or nothing like that.
Right.
And now my father was in my life to a certain age.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that you learned from your father that you will implement in your daughter's life. And do you still have you gonna have more kids or you gonna stop? Because it seems like to me,
I think I'm gonna have one more and I'm done.
So not to be in your personal life, because in your relationship, I don't know your status. You might be engaged. I don't know. But what do you do about women? How do you deal with women? So many women, it's so prevalent and so, easy to get into. Like, I mean, I guess the lifestyle of success comes with women. Being from Baltimore, the nightlife is dim, but somebody like you who always say your light shine, how do you deal with so many women? How do you take them serious? You have a sister, you have a mom, now you have a daughter. What do you do now to challenge yourself to make sure, I'm going to try to make the right decisions with these women? So, again, calm on, because I fail. I fail business, but I'm going to know, what do you do?
So basically, you're saying like, how do you like pick the right female?
How do you do? I mean, like when so many women come at you, is what I'm saying. How do you do the best you can do, not to be disrespectful, not to be a liar, not to hurt them, but enjoy yourself at the same time? Because it's difficult to be, so young and famous and say, I'm gonna stick to one girl, but you might do a wonderful job.
I'm different. I think I got everything out. I think I got everything out so young. Like, I don't know if people know, but like I'm so ahead of my time. So
I know that.
I got everything out so young, and now just like being in the space that I am today is just like, truthfully, where I'm trying to go and the things that I'm trying to do in life, it's just like that shit not really flying.
Do you see yourself being married anytime soon? Do you see yourself?
At some point.
No.
At some point.
And men do things and it's almost like socially acceptable. When a woman do something, it's like, she just, how would a Chino tell a Chino, if a woman cheated on him, or did something, that he felt like was disrespectful? How would Chino deal with that? But guess what? Chino's out here doing whatever he wanted to do. But now when she do something, how would Chino deal with that situation?
So I got my homies. My homie always tell me, see, I was like, you a good ass husband. So bad, but I ain't heard of it like that. He's just like, you act like a husband. Because me, like, if I'm in a relationship, I'm in a relationship. Like, I'm
faithful.
I'm faithful, real shit. Like, I ain't out here running the streets. I ain't nothing. I'm in the house certain times. Once I'm done, well, if I got to go out of town and handle my business or whatever, I'm going to do all that.
Right.
In a relationship, because I be trying to grow and I'm trying to build. So it's just like, I ain't really out here running around.
So do you have any fears of failing in a relationship? Like, a lot of people don't want to start over. So you got a baby, beautiful child, and the mother, and hopefully that works out. But do you have any fear of failing in relationships to make you say, you know what, man, she ain't this, let me go and do that. And then you continue perpetuating that attitude because of the fear. We have fear of failing that makes us do things that we think are successful in relationship by either being, redundant or just being, I guess, men. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of men don't want to fail. So if we think we're going to fail,
fail far as what? Like,
in relationship, like, if I got a girl that's not working or that's failing, I'm going to find somebody else to see if that works. You know what I'm saying? If I'm in a relationship with this woman that's not working, then you start to cheat or do you ever
I feel like that's temptation.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
how do you deal with temptation?
I just feel like if you're in a relationship with somebody that you really love and truly love, you gonna stick by that. Like me, I'm a person I love hard,
Right.
So you gonna really stick by that person until like you can't do no more. Like first, I ain't dealing with cheating. I ain't having no chick out here cheating on me because I ain't really giving off. I ain't giving off that.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So if you out here cheating,
So what you think needs to change for men to be faithful? What's need to change for men to be faithful in relationships?
I don't really think nothing need to change. I just feel like it's all in the person, the two people that's dealing with each other, really. Because some people don't be in a space where they done with outside. You know what I'm saying? People still want to run around and they be on the young shit. You know what I'm saying? So when you ready to elevate and take you to another level, you ain't out here really thinking about
the streets. You think
a
about
bunch of females every day. All this is that. You're really trying to get some money with your chick, build up, and fall back.
What advice do you give yourself every day? I know you wake up and you face the demons because the goal is to make it home. Yeah. What advice did you give yourself? When you go outside, like what advice did you give yourself?
The advice that I give myself every day I just tell myself to stay focused and just do your best to make it home at night.
So again, you got movies coming out. I'm gonna talk a little about what's next to Chino. You got the movies coming out. Mm-hmm. You was in another movie that was made in Baltimore.
Yeah, Charm City Kings.
Charm City Kings. I think you did a wonderful job of that. That was more than a cameo, right? That was more like a role.
For sure, that was a role.
Yeah, it was a role. I remember you was telling me one time that you wanted to acting coach? Do you think you aced it now? You think you ready to?
No, I don't think I aced it. No, I don't think I aced it. I think I can still use an acting coach. But luckily, the roles that have been coming my way just been like, it been me.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Natural.
Like natural. So I really didn't need an acting coach for the roles that I do have now. But I feel like, I definitely need an acting coach to grow and
do you see yourself in those big roles one day? Is that something you're passionate about, or is it something that if it happened, it happened? Because you might be focused more on creating your dirt bike park or whatever.
I would say I haven't really tapped all the way into it. So now I think as I am getting new roles and stuff like that, it's making me tap into it more so I could get more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
But for me, it wasn't a thing.
Right.
I was really focused on the dirt bikes and just making that bigger.
Right.
So,
if you had to name 3 of your favorite rap artists, because people want to know what do Chino do, when he's not working, when he's not traveling the world. He watching movies, Netflix, he playing play. I see you playing, but I see on your picture you got a PlayStation. I don't know if it's Call of Duty or whatever, but
no, that's a Grand Theft.
So do you have like a favorite thing to do every day outside of just in your normal life?
I mean, me really, I be chilling. I like shop, right, like that. Travel a lot. I like to travel.
What the favorite place you ever been?
My favorite place is Bahamas.
Why?
Not second.
Why?
Because I got 2 homies over there. That's like my brothers. We've been friends probably for the last 10 years. And then when I go over there, for me, it's just like I'm in Baltimore. Like I know the Bahamas like the back of my hand. Like it's all that when I go there.
Some more travel. We always want to find out good, man. We want to find out good. Name your five favorite artists.
5 favorite artists. I would say,
and why?
I would say Baby, Lil Baby. I like Lil Baby because I just feel like he on what I'm on. He get fly. He want to get to the money.
Like Baby too. I like
all his men around him. He want all his men around him to get some money. Just Meek, of course, Meek. That's my all-time. That's my brother who helped me and today
right.
become successful. So I bring him up as just like inevitable, really. But of course, Meek. Who else I would say? Meek, Baby. Who else I'm listening to? That's Raw Wave.
That's all I want to ask you.
Raw Wave.
Right.
Raw Wave. That's so. I think I only got 3. They my top 3: Meek, Baby, and Raw Wave. So Raw Wave for me, because it'd be like I go through a lot of shit on my own and with myself. So listening to Raw Wave and hearing some of this shit is relatable to like some of the stuff that I go through. I'm like, damn, I'm on to that. I'm like.
So how do you deal with mental health? If you're going through certain things, I mean, do you drink? Do you smoke it away? Do you talk to somebody? How do you problem solve and troubleshoot when you're going through something?
So for me, at one point, I went through like a depression stage, and I had got a therapist for mental health. I don't know if you know Chris Simon.
I know Chris.
Chris,
right?
I did do Chris Firm.
Black Swan Chris.
Yeah, Black Swan Chris. I did it through him. So he hooked me up with a therapist, and I was talking to a therapist like every Thursday through the whole pandemic and stuff like that.
I think a lot of people was going through depression during that time.
My eyes kicked in right before that, but it was also went into the pandemic as well. Yeah,
but that's big that you express that, man. I think a lot of people are afraid to even say they got issues, for 1, 2, that they got help, and 3, that they actually talk to someone.
No,
and I think a lot of people, I remember listening to Charlamagne the God one day, and he was telling me about, mental health and talking to therapists, because again, when men go through certain things, they try to keep it in, and I think that's the bad thing to do. I remember in prison, you can't cry.
Right.
So when you go do something in prison, you got to either go to your pillow or hit the track, because if you cry, they're going to think you weak or lethargic, and it's like, yo, you go there crying, and now they looking at you crazy because you got to be with those guys every single day.
Right.
But in the streets, someone such as yourself, who people probably think that, or don't look like what you're going through, to seek professional help, dealing with mental health is huge, because it helps you compartmentalize your situation and deal with it effectively. People drown themselves out with drugs, gambling and sex, and they still don't fix the problem. And I think a lot of young men that's, around your age don't know how to deal with matters the way you dealt with that. So what made you say, let me speak to a therapist?
I think it was, as I always say, just traveling the world and different people's stories and just seeing what other people go through. It was just like, I don't want to go through them things. I seen some people go through the worst stuff, and I seen some people go through just minor things. But I just really didn't want it to get bad. I was in LA. It was I think it was Grammy weekend.
Right.
I ain't come out the room for 2 days. For real? I ain't come out the room for 2 days. I'm in the room like depressed.
By yourself?
But around this time, I'm all depressed. I was out there with Meek and us, but
Okay.
I'm depressed about where I'm at in life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just like, I'm out here Grammy weekend and stuff. I'm out here, I belong out here, but to me, I really don't belong out here. I'm not really successful enough to be out here Grammy weekend, sitting front row at the Grammys, all this and that and the third. So all this shit is just like coming down on me. So I remember I had reached out and I'm like, man, we was already actually through Rock Nation, we was already setting something up with Chris. And it just flowed right into it, helped me out with the therapist.
How did you feel after it was over?
Actually, I think it helped me a lot. Because coming from where we come from, I always looked at a therapist as, you crazy.
Right, exactly. I was going to say that.
And talking to her and just like, she helping me maneuver through certain situations that I'm telling her about, is like, she really knew the avenues to help me. You know what I'm saying? And knew the right things to say and to pull out of me. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was like one of the best things for me to do. And then I got more in tune with myself.
Right. Theology and religion, do that play a part of your life? Whereas though, everybody put God first and they pray and they thank God for the blessings that they have and all the physical attributes that come their way. Is that an important part of your like think tank? When we look at where we are, like I feel blessed.
Yeah, for sure.
Think that all the things that didn't happen, went wrong, and like everything happened for a reason. Like this was talking earlier about how if those guys would have went 100 yards to get ugly, do you think God played a role in everything that's going on?
I feel like definitely for sure. It's just God put you in situations that He know you can handle. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's just how you come out of them situations, really. And I feel like I was fortunate enough to be put in a lot of situations that I was able to maneuver through.
I know you say Meek is a tremendous friend and brother. Is he? Who else outside of Meek is an influence you? Like who you look up to? A role model. It don't got to be somebody in the 10 business.
Outside of Meek,
and why?
I would say I look up to my two brothers, C and Guttra, because it's just the mindset that they got of where I'm trying to get to, where they the only people who I call them like, yo, how should I go in this situation? Right. And I'm really going to listen to them. You know what I'm saying?
So that's important if you're going to listen. That's not what I was asking you earlier. A lot of people who are successful don't like to listen to you. Have to be OGs because they think they got it figured out.
For sure.
And there's some people I won't name who I was just heartened by because their success changed them. Yeah. And when your success changes, you can't reach them. And it's like, that's a disconnect because now I know I could have even helped that person, not only go further, but deal with this situation, because my experience is better than their opinion.
It's certain things that has happened where, granted, the situation what we was talking about,
right,
with the car situation and stuff that was online. It's certain situations where if them two was in that car with me, or even one of them, I would have never got out the car.
Right.
They would have never allowed me to get out the car. But sometimes I snap back into me being by myself and also not having them around. Sometimes I get off track. You understand what I'm saying? And it was other past situations that happened that would have never happened if they was around.
Do you think it's time for Chino to get a security? Not because of, and I mean, a lot of people, I remember I was having a conversation one time with someone about kind of gun. I was like, you don't have a record, and you feel like somebody might rob you for your jewelry or whatever, try it because everybody don't know you. Why not just hire security? It doesn't make you feel or look weak. It makes you look to me like you're thinking. So if you think now, and I guess some of us don't look at who we really are.
I feel like now me, Chino, who I am today, and the type of things that I have and the success that I have now today for myself, I feel like I should have been had security.
Right.
But for a while, I had a lot of people around me downplaying my image where I didn't really feel like I wasn't big enough to have security. You understand what I'm saying? But
down to.
I mean, I think honestly, to avoid again and problem solve what occurred a few weeks ago, I think first of all, a security, whatever would have happened, the security would dealt with that first. You know, that's the first line of contact. But I think your maturity, man, and I'm impressed. I really am impressed because I think knowing what you've been through, knowing what you accomplished, knowing how far you can go and will go, and I pray that all your endeavors are successful. You have matured. You know, I think humbling yourself enough to know that maybe you could have dealt with some things different, whether it be conflict resolution or just in entertaining, you know, different ways to look at situation. You know, it shows to me that you mature. A lot of people don't like to change because it makes them look weak and lethargic, and they don't want to be wrong. A lot of people like, man, you know, and I, like, again, on my way here, you know, I was talking to him like, man, you got to make sure you apologize. And I thought about it, like, I never did because it was a misunderstanding. And, you know, you start off by saying, man, I apologize, whether you right or wrong, because you want to set the tone and be organic and authentic, because now, hopefully that will help you understand, you know what, let me tell this dude cross street, I apologize, because Stoke did that, you know. And then hopefully, again, the little kids look up to you, you know, and not just from riding bikes or fashion. The way you carry yourself, like, you know, you always, you know, you're never temporary with me. Like, I mean, everything you do is temporary. You're never the same. I see you one day, you got this car, I never hit next car, and I'm so proud to know that, you know, my prayers are being answered because we come from the same city. You know, I get to know your family very well, but to see you succeed at the level that you succeed in only gives me hope that the next person will not only learn from you, but with you, or humble themselves enough to say, you know what, if this man did it, I can do it. Right. Again, man, you know, we from Baltimore, and, you know, the streets are real. And it frightens me sometimes to know that the next person who want what we have won't stop. You know, like, that could have been real ugly again, the situation. And people was so busy focusing on, you know,
the negative part of it, right?
And I looked at the fact that, you know what, again, you know, he did the right thing. Absolutely. Because I know 5 minutes from now, you know, and you got the hecklers, you got fake podcast guys saying something. I'm human though, and I get angry because I'm human, and I don't like it. But I can't allow that to be.
See, me, I've really tapped in, Stoke. That's why through that whole situation, you ain't see me comment on it now. No time, because the internet gonna win.
No, you can't beat that.
I can't beat the internet. I'm one person. You got 1,000 trolls on the internet. So 1,000 against one is always none. Like, what am I gonna do?
I think you being the person that you are made people want to talk about that. It's so many stories that went on in Baltimore and in the world. We talk about, you know, Pakistan and Trump. No one cares about that. They won't talk about that unless you be directly affected by that. But I think that, you know, bad news travels fast. I'm glad that you were safe and you was able to be resilient enough to understand who you are today, because a lot of times pride get people in trouble. And I think that's what I see a lot with the violence in Baltimore, is being perpetuating pride, you know. Right. And it could go so left because, again, you got people that's going to check you. I don't know if those people was in your life back then, but that's important to have now. People that's going to check you, you know, to let you know, man, you're a clown, man. You're a clown. And accept it, because sometimes we do clown shit, you know what I mean? As you get older, you know, hope you live a healthy, long life, you know, but you're going to realize that, you know, you're going to make some mistakes, you know what I'm saying? And learning from that shit, man, to me is so important, you know. But it's so, again, you know, it's so rare that I get these opportunities to sit down with someone who I respect and who I look up to. Again, like you, a young OG, because you did things so fast. I mean, I started off at 10 years old. You started off the same age. We got a lot in common. But I think for the most part, man, you know, again, you got so much to talk about, you know, to be positive about. You got so much to do. And the reason why I think your change and maturity is important and it's imperative is you remember that because you got a daughter now. Right. You know, whether you get another movie or you got your own Big Bike Park or different endorsements from Monster, whomever, I think, you know, you have done in a short time what some people ain't did all the lifetime. That's true. You know, so I'm proud of that, man, you know, but you know, anything else you want to cover, man, you know, that, you know,
I mean, truthfully, I just want the same way people supported a video they tried to make negative that really wasn't negative. I just want them to support the positive shit the same way.
Support that movie, man.
Support the movie. Support everything.
Support your movie.
Like, make all my shit go viral.
You know what I'm saying? Not just the negative, like make my positives go right. I just was giving turkeys out at my dog, and I
saw that, man.
Turkeys out.
Yeah, so Chino, as we bring this thing to a close, man, I want to tell you, man, I'm super proud of you, how mature you is. Because I know, as we said earlier, a lot of situations that could have went left, didn't left, and went right because of your maturity. And I know we live in a city where it's like you don't really get too many second chances. People die every single day because they got so much pride. And they vilify guys who they want to be like. You know, they trying to learn from them. You know, and I think you said you had a lot of men in your life, which I think is important. It's paramount that you listen to people who got your best interests and who you can take good advice from, because a lot of people don't have that, you know. And you spoke about speaking to a therapist. I think that, you know, that was important, you know, at a time when you was in a dark space, you know, and you worked your way through it, you know. And you spoke about the incident that happened, you know, which I think to me was an internet moment.
That's all it was.
You know, and I think, you know, people wanted to know, was Chino okay, or Chino got the car? And you spoke about, you know, why you got the car, you know, and I think you learned from that, you know. And then again, you know, your mom get to see her son, your daughter get to see her father. And to me, that was important. I think Baltimore proud of you, man. You're a Baltimore son. You know, I look at you as a celebrity, but I also look at you as a very influential young man who was blessed with talent. The attributes that a lot of young men, you know, wish they had. And those who don't have it can learn from you on how to use what they do have to make it work. You know, then we spoke about the likes of Meek, who I think was a blessing in disguise, who gave you a platform, and you took advantage of it. And you just kicked every door open that came in front of you, man. I want you to keep going. This is a wonderful opportunity to sit across from you, man. You know, I pray much success for you, man. You know, and keep going, man. My God.
For sure.
I want to thank my man Chino Braxton for coming through, the first person to do an interview on No ScriptZ. Please subscribe to YouTube, follow him on Instagram, Chino. Follow me, the Stokey Project, man. Let's get it.
I'm Philly with that drilling and I call them niggas. Cause I come from the dark side, I don't make it, cops gon' slow the niggas. Now I gotta feed my family, bring my sons and all our daughters with us. I don't even need no Grammy, I put a jet print in the whole corner with us. My first song I ever dropped, still performing, nigga. On the 10th year, bitch, she 5th ass, I'm in 5th gear. Bitch, bad ass for 20 racks, I'm like, bitch, where? You the type get around and rich folks start to get weird. I'm the type get around.